video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most memorable stories that that happened when we were playing the Fate game last week. I'd say one of the most memorable stories last week was, it was a zombie apocalypse game, and it took place in this world, well, in the U.S., that was invaded by zombies, and everyone was kind of in a scramble, and they didn't really know what to do. Most of the people were dead, and there was a group of people who were known as the survivors, and they were trying to fight the zombie apocalypse and live and recreate the world to the place that it was. So that was basically the main plot of the story. The next thing I'm going to cover is the characters that took place in this story. Now, one of the characters, my character, her name was Ava Dixon, and she was the ex-president of the United States. I can show this to you. She was also a champion, a worldwide champion in hand-to-hand combat, and she was an ex-military officer. And she has different aspects, like her high concept failed U.S. president because the zombie apocalypse happened, and her trouble, things that would sometimes get her in trouble because, you know, she was leading the fighters, and it was no American left behind because she always felt the need to save every person that she could. And now, some of the other characters was an Asian bimbo photographer. She felt the need to always take pictures, and she would put herself in danger trying to get these pictures because it was so important to her. And another character was a professional handyman. He was very good with the crowbar, and he was really good at like building bombs and things of that nature. And another person was another Asian. He was an Asian foreigner, and he was traveling in the U.S. and he got caught up in all this mess of the zombie apocalypse and kind of happened. So those are the main characters in this story. So the next thing that I'm going to cover is what happened in this memorable game that we played. So the first thing that happened was the president, the bimbo photographer, the foreigner, and the handyman were all trying to get the president to the White House for security. And they were left in the middle of the city where it was not very safe and full of zombies. So they turned on a corner, and there were like a lot of zombies, a whole mob of zombies. So we all had to figure out, during each turn, each person had to figure out what they were going to do. So during the president's turn, I decided to look for a ladder, and I found one. And a couple people were able to make it up. But since I didn't get a really high score on the dice, a couple people were left behind, and we had to figure out what to do with them. So as soon as a couple people on the roof took cover, they were trying to shoot at the zombies and trying to save a couple of the other people's lives. So after this all happened, one person was left on the ground. And so the handyman decided to use his bomb and blow up the rest of the zombies so that the person would live. So then the rest of the people, so the four of us, climbed up the ladder, and we made it into another building. And in that building, the photographer, she did not succeed, and she had to, or she tied, and she had to succeed at a minor cost. And the minor cost was to lose her camera lens cap because she cared so much about her camera. And so when she lost it, it fell down like a staircase into a basement, and she decided that she was going to go get it because it mattered so much to her. And when she went downstairs, we heard her screaming because there was like a mega monster mutant zombie. And so we all decided to go downstairs and help her. And after this long series of events, we finally managed to go back up the stairs, and then the zombie mutant followed us. And he almost killed us, but we made it, fortunately. And a couple of us lost a couple fingers and things like that, but eventually everyone lived, and we moved on to the next story plot. So I think that's pretty much where it ended, but this was probably one of the most memorable plays, or one of the most memorable settings for the game.